Good morning. I'm Eliott Rodriguez, and welcome to Facing South Florida. Jim DeFede is off this week. 1 year after she was chosen for the job, the president of Miami-Dade College will officially be sworn in next month. The investiture for Madeline Pumariega had to be postponed because of the pandemic, but now the college is ready for the big event on December 10th. It comes at a busy time for Miami-Dade College, which is hosting the return of the Miami Book Fair, a history exhibit at History Miami, and planning for the Miami International Film Festival in the spring. There's a lot going on at Miami-Dade College. So when Madeline Pumariega said she could sit down for a conversation before her investiture, I jumped at the opportunity. Madam President, thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you. This is an exciting time of year for you. The next few weeks, there's a lot going on, including your investiture. Explain to me why we're having an investiture on December 10th when you've been on this job almost a year now.
So the presidential investiture for colleges and universities actually started in the Middle Ages. It is a ceremonial, if you will, presidential torch, if you will, that passing moment, and it happens within the first year. Some never happens within like the first month or two. Oftentimes, presidents will really spend a year on the job to think about, to know the community, lay out the vision. It's a celebration for the community. It's a celebration for Miami-Dade College. And we were in the middle of the pandemic. Originally, maybe we were thinking about August, and if you remember, our positivity rates were up, and so we wanted to make sure that we could bring the community together in a safe way, and December gave us enough time to do so.
All right, so you said it's a time to give the president a time to take it in and think about the job. All right, it's been almost a year. What do you think about the job? It's
amazing. It's a privilege and an honor to lead the largest community college in America, but more importantly, where I began as a student. Just the other day, not only where I started, so many of us, our parents, was going through some things from my mom. She passed a year ago, and I found her card from Miami-Dade Junior College. She took her teacher certification here, and it was signed by Carrie Meek, was the director of the education program, who we know, our beloved Carrie Meek, Congresswoman. And so I just had this aha moment, right? That here my mom came through these doors, so many in our community have, and I went through the same doors as a student, and to come back and lead an institution that means so much to this community and really to the country.
Well, you actually started here as a student athlete. Tell me about that.
I sure did. I graduated from Hialeah High and went on to the South Campus then. It was Miami-Dade Community College, the South Campus, and I played women's basketball there as a forward, and really credit that foundational knowledge that I learned as a student and as a student athlete really guided my professional career. Just teamwork, what you learn on the court, the strategy, working together as a team, and those foundational skills stick with me today.
Okay, I want to interject myself a little bit here because I graduated from Miami-Dade College, but when I came here it was Miami-Dade Community College. And it was in the 70s. I'm a child of the 70s, and I was the first person in my family to go to college. So my mother and father, with all their great intentions, they really didn't help me much in picking a college. It's not like my kids now, where I've taken them to visit college campuses. We've looked at the U.S. News and World Report. We've looked at SAT scores and very involved. That wasn't the case with me. And so I just ended up at Miami-Dade Community College because that's where my friends went. And it turned out to be the best decision that I could have made because I was able to pursue my career in journalism, and I met my mentor at Miami-Dade Community College. How has the role of Miami-Dade changed since my day, back in the 70s, when it was just picking up a kid, you know, whose parents came here from another country, who wanted to work hard, but really didn't know too much about higher education?
Eliott, in some ways it's changed, and in some ways it's the same college. that in 1960 opened its doors. The Wolfson campus, the Wolfson family for $1 gave the college 200 acres in the north part of the county, and it gave birth to Miami-Dade, then Junior College North. It was the only one. And it was then, and still is today, the institution where American dreams become a reality. An institution that opens its doors to everyone, whether you recently arrived, whether you're a high school graduate, whether you're first in your family, or whether you're coming to take courses to go on to FIU or UM or FSU or UF. I think those values, those pillars that the college was built on are the same. I think the prominence, the national prominence of the college, its reputation for academic excellence, student success. Think about us being the workforce engine of this community. Healthcare workers, 1 and 2 that you find in our community trained at Miami-Dade College, teachers trained at Miami-Dade College. And then very important, I think, is the cultural engine of this community. Miami Book Fair, Film Festival, the museum, all of the work that we've done in the community to really promote arts and culture. That wasn't there in 1960, might have not been there in the 70s. I think that certainly, as Miami became a world-class city, Miami-Dade College alongside became a world-class college.
Are you concerned about these students, once they get that training and education here, they leave South Florida and they go someplace else? What can be done to keep them here? What can be done to attract the businesses that are the high-paying jobs that are going to keep those talented young people staying here?
I am so proud to tell you that 9 out of 10 of our graduates stay right here and work in our community. We don't export talent back out of our community. Actually, they stay right here. Of our Associates of Arts students, 80% transfer on to FIU to get their bachelor's degree. And for those workforce training programs like our nurses, EMT, physician's assistant, cloud computing are all working right here in Miami-Dade County.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And what does that do to their income earning ability?
So if we think about our Associates in Science students, it's a 2-year program. Average earnings, $47,000. They come right out. Many are debt-free, and you take a look at Amazon Web Services, hired 2 of our students this past summer at $55,000. Our Associates in Science nursing students, hospitals can't get enough of our RNs, and they certainly can make a lot of money out there. But you think about public safety. We train so many of the police officers in our community. And then our baccalaureate programs are really workforce driven, whether it's education and exceptional education, whether it's our data science, whether it's our PA program. And those students, their earnings out in the community are average about $56,000. So we know that getting that high quality credential, whether it's an associate's or a bachelor's, and staying right here to work is really what creates the path to the American dream and economic prosperity.